Today, we are talking about those people in your life, the ones who leave you emotionally empty after just one conversation, even. We have many names for them: energy drainers or energy vampires, boundary crossers, chronic takers, emotional overloaders, one way relationships, people who leave you empty, whatever you call them. They exist in both the personal and our professional lives. And for many, many perfectionists, they're everywhere. I'm Vassia, psychologist, founder of Anti-Loneliness, and someone who works every single day with high-achieving, kind, and incredibly drained people. So if you are a people pleaser who is constantly exhausted, not only from doing too much, but also from giving too much, this video is for you. Today, we're going to talk about why specifically perfectionists attract energy drainers, and we are going to also recognize how to spot them and how to set boundaries and protect our energy. That's going to be our agenda for today. Let me start with a truth bomb. Most perfectionists, they don't realize that they are magnets for energy drainers. Why? Because of the good child narrative, which means that maybe you grew up being the responsible one. You never said no. You were the one helping. You were the one making peace and keeping the harmony in the family. And for being the one that could handle the achievements while holding the peace and while not complaining for all this. So you learn that early on that being liked and serving others means being useful. You have to be useful so that you can be liked. So now let's come to the present moment. At work, that means that you over deliver, you cover for your teammates, you reply at emails at night, you always say yes. And at home, you're also the emotional dumping ground. People come to you to fix problems, to soothe, to listen, even though you're running on empty. So you take that protective role. I'm the strong one. I'm not going to share anything. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to even say that I don't have the energy for that today. So here's the thing: your worth is not your usefulness. You are not worthy because you're useful. We have to really separate these two. And constantly proving your value by overgiving leads to burnout, bitterness, broken boundaries. How do we spot if somebody is draining your energy? Here are a few signs. First of all, you feel tense or exhausted after being with them. Or even you feel exhausted even before you're with them because you know your body knows that, it's coming. They're going to ask something again. They rarely ask how you are, it's always about them. They expect you to drop everything for their crisis. You feel guilty when you say no, or they make you feel guilty, not only with verbal signs, but also with non-verbal signs. Like they make you feel guilty with their facial expression. You see the disappointment, you see them sighing or rolling their eyes. You dread seeing their name pop up on your phone or your inbox. So let me give you an example. One of my clients, a brilliant project manager, she had a colleague who constantly dumped last minute projects and tasks on her, really on the last minute, because she knew that my client would deliver, would say yes. And because she didn't want to seem difficult, that was behind the saying yes. I don't want to be difficult. So because she didn't want to seem difficult, she kept absorbing the load until she was the one missing deadlines and getting burned out. At home, the same thing. A friend would call in the evening to complain for 45 minutes, never asking how she was doing. She was hanging on the phone and listening, even though she had no mental or emotional capacity for that. If you are nodding along while you're listening to that description, don't forget to hit subscribe button and to join our Facebook group, Healthy Perfectionists Thrive. Because yes, once a perfectionist, as I say, always a perfectionist, but we want to be the healthy one, the one thriving, not the one being drained and being exhausted. So, boundaries. Let's talk about that. The magic word that can change everything. But I get it, for perfectionists, setting boundaries feels like a betrayal. Like I'm supposed to be the person that says yes, and because I'm perfect. It feels like you're being selfish or rude when you're saying no. But remind yourself this, that boundaries are not walls, they are filters. They let the right things in, keep the draining things out. So start small. Let's start small. Instead of saying, I cannot talk right now, you can say, well, I'm really wiped out today. Can we catch up tomorrow? Offer an alternative. It's not a no, it's not a strict no, it's an alternative. At work, I'm at capacity this week. Can we look at this next Monday? Remind yourself this. This is one of my favorite reminders. You don't need to earn rest, and saying no doesn't make you mean. That makes you sustainable. Actually protects the relationship that you have either in the professional or the personal setting, because you will come back to them with more energy, with more joy for whatever you're going to do today or you're going to do together, instead of saying yes out of fear or out of guilt. And yes, of course, people might be surprised. They don't like, to hear no, and especially when you have been always saying yes, of course. But the ones who truly care about you will respect your limits. And the ones who don't, well, that's useful information for you as well. Last part, how to protect your energy and, of course, recharge, because it's not just about saying no, it's also about saying yes to the things that fill you up. And you, first of all, understanding that your energy is valuable and you don't need to earn your rest. So, here are some practices that help. The buffer zone. Create buffer in order to recharge in between meetings, between social plans. Instead of going from work straight to a social event and having no energy for yourself, no space for yourself, take a buffer, like for 15 minutes, for half an hour, maybe walk around, go to a park close to nature, recharge your energy before you go and meet other people. Sit, breathe, journal, walk. Just let your system reset. Maybe sometimes we cannot avoid them, but we can really protect our energy from that. The mental door close. After a heavy conversation, say to yourself, that was their story, not mine to carry. So we have to create that mental barrier where we drop this conversation, we drop this issue. And I know it's not as easy as it sounds, but having this a reminder in your head, that can help a lot. Leave that conversation behind, but also feel free when a conversation is heavy that you communicate that to the person you're talking with. Ask them for a break. This is a very heavy conversation for me, and I really feel impacted by that. Can we please take a break and we can continue later? That's not about you, it's about me. I don't have the energy at the moment to absorb more of this. I'm glad that you shared it with me. I appreciate that I'm the person that you trust and you come to me. And in no way I'm betraying your trust, but I need this space in order to be there for you with my full attention instead of resenting having committed to that conversation. So be honest, be vulnerable, and let them know that this is something about you. You need the energy. Last thing that I want to share is recharge rituals: music, silence, art, a walk outside, petting your cat. I know about that. I have two cats. That's my ritual. A hot shower, whatever reconnects with you, with you. Remember, you're not a machine, you're not a robot. You cannot recharge just with pressing a button. You're a human being and you deserve to protect your peace. So, to recap, it's okay to recognize who drains your energy. Your people pleasing is not your fault, it's a narrative, but it's your responsibility to hear from that, to change that narrative. The good child narrative, we said. Boundaries are acts of self-respect. You owe that to yourself, and your energy deserves to be protected. Don't forget about our Facebook group, Healthy Perfectionists Thrive. And of course, if you like this video, hit like, subscribe, share with other perfectionists who might be drained already and they might find this very useful. You've got this. Until next time, take good care of yourself.